people who really want to be here to do good for this country. I'd like to know how you intend to vote on immigration reform.
Well, if you're talking about the Senate bill, I've been pretty clear. I'm not going to support the Senate bill. The Senate bill is an absolute no vote. First of all, it's a monstrosity that nobody understands. Second of all, I believe there's amnesty in there, and for me, amnesty is a non-starter. The second part of the equation is we've got to secure our borders. And you know, the lessons of history, and the recent history, is back in 1986. Ronald Reagan and the Democratic-controlled House passed a bill that said we're going to control the border, we're going to enforce the law and fine people that are employing illegals, and they said in that bill we're going to give 2.8 million illegals amnesty. Well, what they did was they gave them amnesty, they never finished securing the border, and they haven't enforced the laws. So job one is securing our border, to make sure we know who's coming in and out of this country. Because not only do we need to know about who's coming here to work and work peacefully, but where the terrorists are coming through. And that border is extremely porous for them to get across. So securing our border.
And we have all nationalities coming across that border.
Sure. But securing that border is first and foremost. The second thing is we do need to have a modern visa system today, so we can tell. So there are workers that need to come to this country. Look, we live in the agricultural belt of Pennsylvania. The 9th Congressional District is the 11th largest agricultural district in the country. And if you go to these farmers out there, there's a lot of Hispanics working there because people can't get Americans, people living here, to milk the cows and pick the apples or the pears, wherever it is. And so having a visa program that it gets the kind of workers that want to come here to work here, getting in here legally, letting them go home, because many of them come here, they don't want to stay, but because it's so difficult to deal with our visa system, they come here and they stay. So making sure we're reforming that so that our farmers and other industries that need those immigrant workers have them do the job. And finally, putting a law in place that has real teeth. If somebody is hiring illegals, giving them some small fine is not to do it. You need to have a significant fine to these folks. And the people, and that's what we need to put in place. And again, we're in the House. We're going to try to deal with that in the upcoming this fall, piece by piece. But the Senate bill is not going to see the light of day in the House.
The other part of it is the expense that they create on our country, of our Social Security and all of the other benefits that should be going to Americans.
Sure. In the southwest of this country, the numbers I've heard just on health care alone exceeds $1 billion a year. It's wrong. We've got to get control of our border. And you know, it's not that difficult to do. You build a fence where you need a hardened fence. Other places you don't need so much fence. You have the technology. But one of the easiest things for us to do is if you're an immigrant in this country, give you a card that makes it easy for the farmer out in the cove to go to his computer or go to the local police station, the courthouse, swipe the card that has this person's biometrics on it, and I'm talking about immigrants, I'm not talking about citizens, make it easy for them. I had a farmer that came to me and said, I've got to hire Hispanics to milk on my farm. He said, I just wanted to tell you, I've been looking at their paperwork, and I can't tell you if it's fake or if it's real. How do you expect me and then you're going to come to me if I, by accident, hire an illegal, and I'm going to be in trouble for it. That's something that's pretty easy to do today. If you're coming into this country, you get a biometric card, it's an easy swipe, and so the local business person or farmer can tell this person's here, he's got his papers, he's legal, or he's not.
Congressman, I do have to ask.